Hey guys, I kind of forgot to put a couple things in the video. First place prize is getting $50 in Razer, which for a Jonin Medal, Platinum Monthly Card, and Monthly Card. Second is getting 21 or something like that. Third prize is 12. The guy who won first prize wanted to give it to the next person, so one random person is just gonna get third prize, and then second and third is gonna move up. Okay, I think that's it. If you want to look at who won, just go to the end. There's gonna be some timestamps. Enjoy. Hey guys, it's OKB. This is the Edo Hiruzen Breakthrough Contest results. Sorry it took so long. Uh, two Fuku deals came out, or at least 2 week deals came out, and then family stuff happened, and things went crazy. So here I'm gonna announce 3 potential candidates for winners. They are already winners, but we're just deciding which one is number 1, 2, and 3. Instead of last time where I streamed like every single entry, and everyone had multiple entries. Today we're just gonna do the top 3 that I picked, and then we're gonna figure out which one is number 1, 2, and 3. For those of you who don't know, these contests are run on donations. So if you want to support us, there's a link in the descriptions of this video. If you want to donate, you can talk to me on Discord. Or if you want to help indirectly and make some money, then just go to Coffin Swag. You guys can probably heard of SwagBucks. I specialize in that in another channel. That helps both of us as long as you sign up through my links. Okay, so the 3 winners is FSB Gaming. Number 2, well, okay, I haven't ranked them according to who's number 1, 2, and 3. But second winner is Shadowstone, and let's see, third guy was Archfiend Weavile. Now, FSB Gaming, even though he won, he said to just give it to the next person. So we're just going to give whoever wins second is going to be first, whoever wins third is going to be second, and then third prize is just going to be randomly given to some guy who I think made the most effort. Okay. But yeah, I think most people should know what Edo Hiruzen does, right? He just causes unavoidable water, fire, wind, lightning, earth damage to 9 units, 5 combo, costs 20 chakra, cooldown is 2, but he can use it right away. His standard attack is to attack a line of units causing low, and people can't dodge it. They didn't write it in the abilities, but people can't dodge it. And I think some people confuse that in entries. Don't worry, I didn't take off points for that. His chase is 30 combo, costs 4 random units, ignition. Pretty simple. His fourth is a passive that increases his defense resistance by 1.5% for every 1% life loss. So theoretically up to 150% defensive resistance. But you're never actually going to get there. You're just going to get sort of close. You could say 100%, which is pretty good. And then his last is to give 9 random units in the field, actually. 40% attack and ninjutsu. This is a removable buff, though. It lasts for 5 rounds, which is pretty good. It doesn't work with main character buffs, which kind of sucks, because I would do it. But and then he also has like 5 chakra natures, so he's technically not weak to any element, which is like a slight bonus, but it's not like a huge thing. And the reason we did this was because the reason we chose Edo Hiruzen is because all the other Hokages, Minato, Hashirama, and Tobirama all have very powerful breakthroughs and slash or bond skills. Okay, so I'm just gonna get right into it, and we're gonna decide which one is the best, and we're gonna I put up some teams in Kona Proxy to figure out what might look good, depending on what breakthroughs you have in here. Some of them should be the same, but you guys came up with some pretty interesting ideas. So, some of you guys also overdid it. Like, don't give a ninja 600% defensive resistance. That's just ridiculous. All right, that's super cancerous. But yeah, aside from like little things like that, you guys came up with really good ideas. So let's look over it. I judged this based on balance, not just good ideas. And I do take off a couple points if you mess up on what a mystery +1 or Y is supposed to be. Okay. All right. FSB Gaming entry. He was actually the first one to post, and he won a spot. So the normal mystery is you hit 9 units, cost 5 combo, fire every single element. Well, his mystery +1 is to cause repulse, which is fair, all right, because you're blasting people with fire, water, wind, you're gonna be thrown back, right? That's repulse. +2 suppress super armor and cause repulse. Sounds pretty fair to me. Super armor, yeah, sure. Y is to cause repulse, but instead of 9 units, it comes to 7. But he tones the chakra to 20. Battlefield cooldown is still 0, so you can still use it, but it's just hitting less people, which is fine in a 1 versus 1 battle. Repulse, that's just the Y skill, and then the Y+1 is to also suppress super armor. He had the same idea for both. I think it was pretty fair. It's pretty clean so far. His standard attack. Okay, so normally the standard attack is just, it's unmissable, by the way. It's just, they don't say it, but it's unmissable. And he has a high chance of low float. His +1, though, it gives him bloodthirsty, so he gets an extra standard attack if it kills a unit, which is great if he uses position 1. Terrible if he's with position 2. That makes sense. I guess it has no impact if he's position 2, unless you're hitting a clone. That's by luck. +2 though, it's bloodthirsty and you increase damage by 15%, which I thought was fair. A lot of breakthroughs have this, but I think you should probably make this like 30% because 15% isn't much at all, especially in today's meta. Like Minato has a +2 with 30%, so if Edo Minato has that, Edo Hiruzen shouldn't be left behind. He's not inferior to Minato. Like maybe he's old, but like he's not. He's a Hokage. Put it at 30%. All right, took off a little bit of point for that, but it's still good. The Y and Y+1. So the Y for his standard, he suggested that we give him. I don't think there's a name for it. So whenever your opponent uses a mystery, you get an extra standard attack, just like Summer Kakashi, just like Six Pass Naruto. That's fair. His attack doesn't hit 4 people. It is unmissable, but it only hits a line, so it's not overpowered. His Y+1 gives him an extra standard attack, and increases taijutsu by 5%, which I thought was fair as well. But it makes him. Summer Kakashi has a better buff than this, right? And Edo Hiruzen at 4 stars, and you're having him breakthroughs, you should probably have him 10% or something like that. Once again, so you're underplaying how strong Edo Hiruzen probably should be, in my opinion. 10% at least, possibly more. I mean, okay. We don't want him at a 6-pass Naruto level, but the 6-pass Naruto is 15%, so 12, 10%, something like that. Yeah, I guess it also depends on other abilities, but you're hitting less people in 6-pass Naruto. You're also scaling like 3 times less, so you gotta scale it up a bit more. Okay, his chase normally it's 4 units, 30 combo, cause ignition to random 4 units. His +1 is to 6 random units. His +2 is to 7, and then he gets a extra chase every single round, which is fair. Just extra damage. His mystery is ninjutsu, so it's a lot of ninjutsu attack and attack and attack. Fair. Doesn't make him overpowered either. It works. Yeah, I'll probably increase his stats on other areas to make this ability more powerful, but I think the chase itself is good. Ability. Okay, the Y though, he creates. Okay, so he goes from 4 units with 30 combo to unremovable ignition. So it's not undodgeable, it's unremovable, which is pretty good. And then his Y+1 is also unremovable, and then he increases his chase every single round, so just like the +2. This is all fine because unremovable ignition, first of all, some people are immune to status, and this doesn't go through it, so it's not that powerful, but it can be a damage dealer, so I like the chase, for sure. All right, his passive normally is to increase his defensive resistance by 1.5% for every 1% life lost. Theoretically, 150%. Probably average is 100% or so. His +1, he changed that to... Okay, so he wrote and 1% ninjutsu for each 1% life lost. So it's defensive resistance by 1.5%, and then 1% ninjutsu, which I think is fair. He scales to he technically can scale to Kakuzu level, but he's not actually going to get there in most battles. It's probably like 50-60%, which is fair. And then he add critical hit, which I think is also pretty good. It doesn't make him too strong, but it gives him some sort of defense resistance. It's very balanced. He's very balanced. So this is a perfect scaling, I think, for his abilities. And then he has the other Y skill, Oh no, wait, not otherwise skill. The same Y skill. So instead of defensive resistance, he turns it into ninjutsu and taijutsu for every chakra you have. That's very interesting. He becomes very versatile, and that I actually think that's a very good idea because Hiruzen's the guy, the professor of Shinobi or something. He knows every single jutsu, and basically he can use anything. And switching from increasing stats based on life loss to chakra, it's all good. I think it's all good, except like it doesn't go in line with his character because he doesn't actually have a lot of chakra, but it's fine. In terms of using him, it's pretty good. The passive Y+1 is Nin, Tai, and critical hit. I think that works too. It's just kind of like a +2 scaling with the critical hit thing too. It's not too powerful, but he can be position 1, and it's pretty good for an area attack for sure. Okay, he has a passive. The second passive is to just increase 40% attacking ninjutsu to 9 people in the field. They don't write in the field, but it is what it is. He also gets 5 chakra natures, which protects against all elemental bonuses. Okay, passive +1. So he changes it to, let's see, 7 units. So I take issue with that. When you have a +1 and +2 skill, you usually want to add on to, well, whatever it is, right? You don't decrease anything, really. You just add on to whatever skill is already there. If you suddenly change it to 7 units, that's worse. That's not as good. Yeah, it just isn't. So that I take issue with that, and I took some points off with that. But the positive side, let's see. In the beginning of the battle, give shields to Kono units based on 30% of the resistance. For a +1, that's okay. That's fine. Maybe a +2 will be much better. Let's see. So for +2, it's 2 parts. So he also does 7 units still. At the beginning of battle, give a shield to Kono units 30% based on unit resistance, and 1 Kono unit will become immune to status for 2 rounds. That's okay. I think I would increase the buff here though, because 30% like at the beginning of the battle only is it. I think even Iruka does a better job than that. But I guess it's technically a bonus, so I mean it's okay. But like it helps kind of. I would increase it to like 40% maybe, like Gar. Maybe not Gar level. I don't know. It just doesn't seem strong enough for me. I mean, I like the idea of immune to status, so +2 is pretty close. +1 seems a little weak. Maybe increase the ability somehow, because it's not actually that helpful. It's pretty easy to just remove the immune to status, but it is for 2 rounds. It's fine, and it's on and off for me. Okay, the Y skill here. Let's see. So up to 4 units will have a ninjutsu and attack increase. So this is less field, but more of your team. I'm assuming that he's changing from field to team here. Either way it works, but 4 units will have the same scaling for 3 rounds only. Let's see. But what's good about it is before each round, create a shield based on 10% of unit resistance to Kono units. That's good, but 10% seems very tiny, very very tiny. Yeah, I would probably put 20 and then make this 40. Let's see what he does for Y+1 though. Let's see. Before each round, create a shield based on 10% of unit resistance to Kono units. Remove all debuffs. Okay, I like the all remove all debuffs. It's kind of like Sage Naruto running around. I think Sage Naruto had this breakthrough at some point, right? Even though we don't use him because he's okay. He has like somewhat good abilities, but he's just nothing too extreme to the point where we would use him. So yeah, let me take a look. I'm pretty sure Asuma also has this, right? Sage Kabuto, Sage Mode, Naruto. Not as strong as Sage. Okay, where is this? Let's see. Yeah, recover 20 chakra and cancel all debuffs. Something like that is pretty good for Edo Hiruzen. I would say it was good. Just that 10% sucks. And you might as well not even put it. So keep the remove all debuffs on the Y+1, but you probably want more shields than 10%. I mean, increasing ninjutsu attack is already a good ability, but if we're having breakthroughs and 4th stars, you gotta get a little bit more here. Okay. Oh, we got a Reaper. Okay, so his bond skill is pretty interesting. He decided to put a Reaper death skill, just like normal Hiruzen. So for people who don't know, normal Hiruzen, basically whenever he dies, he can't standard attack, and then his mystery turns into this suicide attack, just like when you see in the first episodes when Orochimaru attacked. He does a Reaper Death Seal. I think he could still do it with Edo Tensei. But yeah, he basically deals a heavy amount of damage at the cost of his life, and then he dies, and he'll resurrect after 2 rounds. He could do this again and again. That seems awfully overpowered. He has a cooldown of 3, which that's new to the game, I guess, to have a bond skill cooldown. No, actually no. Every 3. Ooh, man. Yeah, that's a new idea still. Being able to use this attack over and over again. Nowadays, normal Hiruzen, even though he's a strong attack, probably still can't beat 6-pass Naruto unless it's a very close battle, even though he deals a whole lot of damage. So this skill actually, I might actually put this on normal Hiruzen, but maybe it's a little too powerful if you can revive on his own. No, I don't know. Maybe instead of causing heavy damage, it'd be like kind of heavy damage, not as strong as Hiruzen, but half as strong because he's at Tensei maybe, but half as strong is still a lot of damage, so I shouldn't look down on that. Yeah, but I like this. I like the idea. That's pretty good creativity there. And then ninjas required. I'm not really counting this, but yeah, sure. Enma, Tobirama, Minato, Hashirama. That's all good. Okay, I like this one. I had some issues, but there was no perfect entry. So he did pretty well. Okay, Shadowstone is the second entry that I thought should be a winner, or at least a finalist. Let's see. Mystery. His mystery causes the cooldown. Mystery cooldown. 50% increase in unmissable. Okay, so I think, because in the template I didn't write unmissable, he thought unmissable was part of. He thought Edo Hiruzen wasn't unmissable, so he probably doesn't have Edo Hiruzen, which is fine. The Oasis did a bad job of this, but causing a massive prompt damage, 15% increase, probably a little bit more. He also increased it to 10 units. I kind of missed that when I was highlighting stuff. He increased the cooldown to 3, which I'm assuming he accidentally did this and just thought it was 3, or maybe he just I get the idea though. Like, you're increasing it to a higher amount for increased damage, but you should probably have it higher than 15%, even if it's a +1, maybe 20%, and then maybe 40% on mystery +2, especially if the cooldown's at 3. And then he also changes to 12 units. Good concept, just, you gotta switch things around a little bit to balance it out. So having a mystery cooldown at 3 is makes it pretty bad, makes it a little bit worse. But if this was all two rounds, I think this could pass 20 and 40% maybe, something at least at that point. Now his Y skill though causes a small amount of damage to water fire, blah blah blah, 6 units. Okay, so less people. Cause irremovable ignition, anti-paralysis for 2 rounds, and 5 combo. That's a good one. And the cooldown is only 2, which is fine. And it costs 40 chakra, which is a little bit hard to get, so this is fine, even though it seems OP. Let's see, he causes a small amount of damage too. So, this is more of a status effect thing. Sure. 40 chakra cost, sure. This is I think that was a good idea. Yeah, I like that idea. Y+1 is to 8 units. Okay, you remove ignition for 2 rounds. Probably want to make it 9 still. Just go back to 9 units. Yeah, it's fair. Or maybe you can change it to 20 chakra instead. That'll be pretty strong. Unmissable. It's unmissable, irremovable, but it doesn't go through immunity to status. Yeah, I mean, 40. It's okay. Maybe we get a little bit stronger. Not too much stronger, just a little bit stronger somehow. But I like the idea. That's good points for creativity there. Standard attack. You attack a random line. Deal 10% increased damage and a high chance of low float. Okay, 10% increased damage, 30% for +2, and has a high chance of causing low. Decreasing initiative 1% for every enemy hit by this skill. I might put 0.75%. It's okay. You only hit once, so I guess 1% is fine. That's a good idea. I'm not sure about initiative. Maybe critical hit. It's okay. Either one works. His standard Y is a chance to decrease your mystery cooldown by 1, and his Y plus 1 is increase the enemy cooldown by 1 as well. So you're decreasing your own mystery while increasing your enemy's mystery. And it's unmissable, and I think he doesn't know it's unmissable, so I'm not going to count the too OP. Yeah, it seems a little too OP, but I think it should be okay. It's like Sage Kabuto's standard attack, so I guess it should be okay. Even if it's unmissable. Sage Kabuto isn't unmissable though. I don't think his standard attack is unmissable. Pretty OP, but it still kind of works. I get it. So I think that's a pretty good setup for not knowing that his standard attack is unmissable. So I'll give him that. Chase, 30 combo chase, ignition. Chase plus 1 is 6 random units. Chase plus 2 is ignition and interruption. Okay. So it's kind of like an area interruption like Edo Hashirama does, except he doesn't immobilize, he just interrupts, and I think that's perfect. Any decrease in damage is fine, but 10% is nothing, so you might as well decrease it by 30% or something like that as a support. Okay. Y ninjutsu. Trigger at 20 combo, which, okay. Cause damage decrease by 50%. Okay. Suppress all immunity debuffs and ignition and paralysis. 4 people. Okay. 20 combo, suppressing immunity status with his chase. That's actually exceptionally well done. His chase is not... So you can dodge his chase. That's fine. Okay, as long as you can dodge the chase, I think that should be okay. Yeah, because you still need to cost 20 combo for this to happen. So I guess it's okay. A little bit like Edo Hashirama 2, or was it Edo Tobirama? I can't remember which one. With Edo Hashirama breakthroughs, something like that. It's chase Y plus 1. It's the same thing, except irremovable ignition and paralysis. The Y skill was not irremovable, but the Y plus 1 is. Okay. That's actually okay for me. Not causing a lot of damage, suppressing immunity debuffs. But suppressing immunity debuffs will have to be affected by control. I think that's how it works, because that's how Nier Hashirama worked. So, yeah. It's not too strong. Okay, passive increase this. So, yeah, passive you guys already know. So his passive plus 1 is adding ninjutsu damage increased. So when you cause ninjutsu damage, you increase it by 20% and attack by 5%. His plus 2 is 25 and 10. I don't know. His standard attack. So the ninjutsu damage is from mysteries and chases, right? He doesn't get extra mysteries and chases, I think. Does he? He doesn't. The other guy did the increase in chase, right? So this is actually okay because you don't have an unlimited amount of chase and you don't have an unlimited amount of mystery attacks and chases. So this is actually okay. It's this one, right? Plus 2, that's fine. Passive defense resistance by 3%. Okay, this is the one where we saw, for every 1% life point lost, you get defense and resistance. He forgot to write defense here, but I got it. By 6% at Y plus 1, 3% at Y. Now it doesn't look like a lot until you realize that 100% times 6% is 600%. So virtually you can go to 600% defensive resistance, which is insane. You gotta lower that amount, like 400% at most. Okay, 300 is probably good, just like the first entry. The first entry did it well. So good idea, but just 600% is kind of ridiculous. Okay, the passive number 2, 9 units will get 40% attack and ninjutsu. Lasts for 5 rounds, can't be stacked, blah, blah, yada, yada. So the plus 1, they go ninjutsu and attack. They lowered the ninjutsu and attack by 30%, which, it's a plus 1, plus 2 skill. I don't like that you are lowering their ninjutsu and attack. It just doesn't seem right to me because you're usually adding on if it's a plus 1. If you want to do something like this, I'll probably make a Y skill, but not a plus 1 or plus 2. Okay, and then he also, let's see, Kono units are immune to debuffs, so I assume that's in his team. His plus 2, let's see, his plus 2 makes the ninjutsu and attack increase. Lasts for the entire battle, which is okay, but you gotta increase your ninjutsu and attack by 40% at least. Just keep it at 40%. You can make it last the whole battle or make Kono units immune to debuffs. Those are good ideas, but the lowering attack and ninjutsu just doesn't work. Why? If this unit is defeated, you'll be resurrected. Okay. Resurrection is good. Edo in the battles against Obito, Edo Hiruzen was, let's see, he was defeated, but then Edo Tensei brought him back after a while. So that works. This unit is defeated. It will resurrect 2 rounds later with 20%, and then it's 40% in Y+1. And then his bond skill will activate again, which is launching a barrier. Kono ninjas get extra standard attacks, so I guess 1 more, and a shield based on 100% of this unit's resistance, increasing their critical rate and critical hit damage. Which critical hit damage is injury. Okay. Just gonna mention that, and then. Well, this is when the target has, so when the other team has a Akatsuki unit. Okay, so if you're fighting a Akatsuki unit, you'll get critical rate and critical rate. Okay, that's fine. But Edo Hiruzen doesn't really have anything against Akatsuki. I don't think he was even alive when they were fighting against Akatsuki. So I would go against the Akatsuki one. And also critical hit rate and damage is probably a little bit much. The shield, 100% shield is fine. Like extra standard attack and 100% shield. I think that's fine. As a barrier, that's fine. I like the ideas. Just, some tweaks here and there to keep balance. Okay, the third entry is Archfiend Weavile. So let's see. His mystery is... Mystery damage increased by 15%. Unavoidable. Once again, some people don't know that. Hits 10 units instead of 9. That's fine. +1s don't actually always have to be super strong. As long as the +2 is okay. So his +2 is hitting the entire field, which is like Kisame. Makes him pretty strong, actually, in 3 versus 3. Not just arena, either. Cause 5 combo. Mystery damage increased by 30%. Unavoidable. I think that's actually a good one. Make him strong, but... Well, it depends on whether he can get his mystery back based on his other abilities. So let's take a look. Immune to interruption is also there. Being immune to interruption is okay, I guess. Except Six Art, like he can be chased from immobilize or something. So it's not that helpful. It's fine if it's there. It's not overpowered either. His Y though, let's see, huge damage. So unlike the previous one, he causes huge damage. Which I don't know, 30-40% or something, and then to 1 unit, and then causes splash damage 40%, kind of like Six Pass Naruto. Causes repulse, which is fine. 20 chakra, battlefield cooldown of 1, that changes things. Cooldown of 3, you should probably make it 2. In all honesty, it might be huge damage, but like you're having battlefield cooldown of 1. The first 2 rounds are very important. So yeah, it's good, but maybe nerfed a little bit too much. His Y+1, let's see, huge damage, just 65% splash damage. It's not as strong as Six Pass Naruto. I like the concept, just probably not the cooldown of 3. All right. You're having a cooldown of 0, battlefield cooldown of 0. Okay, that fixes some stuff. I think you would still maybe just make this 80% or something, maybe a little bit more. But I think the general idea is pretty good. Yeah, just a little too weak like this. Okay, standard attack. Let's see, 10% increased damage, suppress super armor. And then his +2 is 20% and suppresses super armor, ignore some defense. That's fine. I feel like the gap between +1 and +2 doesn't seem right compared to standard attack and standard +1. But other than that balance, I think it's okay. Probably the increase in damage should go to 30% here. So maybe like 15% and suppress super armor, and then 30% ignore some defense. That should be okay because he only hits once, and he's already unavoidable. But some people don't know that, so that's fine. Okay, Y. Oh, standard attack Y skill. Attack a random line of units from the opponent's team and cause a guaranteed chance of low float. Has a low chance of enfeeble. That's an interesting idea. Causing enfeeble. Which is okay because a lot of people are immune to status, and that's okay. It's only a chance, right? Damage reduced by 30%, fair, because the whole point of the standard attack is support. And then his Y+1 has a chance, so it's a fair amount of chance, probably want to write like fixed chance to cause enfeeble, and then chance of lowering mystery cooldown by 1. Okay, so he has that. Damage reduced by 15%, so that's what you're going to be using when you have him as position 1. Attack is unavoidable. He already is unavoidable. So, okay. That's actually pretty good. I like the idea. It's not too much I want to change on that aside from the percentage. This chase. Let's talk about the 30 combo one. It's scaling ninjutsu attack whenever he has a chase. It's okay. Ninjutsu attack by 5%. Probably make it 10% once again. 5% is too little. It's hardly anything. Even if it's both ninjutsu and attack. Chase plus 2 becomes 8%, which is fine. But you probably might want to make it like 10% and 20% because you only have one time that you can chase. Unless you have those chase, like in Ashura Indra or something that increases the number of chases you have over each round. But even then, like your scaling is not going to be that powerful. Even if you double it, triple it, you have to go into like 3 rounds. So it's going to take a while. Unless fights with Edo Hiruzen probably won't take that long. As a support, you'll probably die within 2-3 rounds. And as a position 1, he probably won't be able to get 20 or 30 combo anyways. So, I don't know. Probably just increase that scaling here. All right, his Y and Y plus 1. So his Y is 6 units instead of 9. And you're reducing defensive resistance instead of increasing attack and ninjutsu, which is fine. And he wants to mention that it's kind of like Sharky-Same Chase, where you hit 6 people in the field, not just in a team. And that could drain chakra, but in this case, it's lowering defensive resistance. Kisame's is more effective, though, because it's draining chakra. Y plus 1 is 8%. Well, I probably want to increase this to, once again, 10 or 20%. Maybe not that much if it's across the field. 8% and 16%, something like that. Maybe 15% at max. Okay, and his Y plus 1 also causes irremovable ignition, which is good. Heals for 5% of the damage dealt. I think that's a good one. 5% is a great number because you're hitting the entire field. You're hitting the entire field, right? Yeah. Oh, his chase also hits the entire field. Okay. Then maybe if it's 8%, then I would understand on that one. Okay, so the plus 1, maybe you fix it a little. I mean, Y fix it a little, but the Y plus 1 seems pretty good. It's a pretty interesting idea. Like, you're mixing Kisame with irremovable ignition, which is... and the healing, which is nice. But you do have to cause combo, 20 combo. Okay, that's not bad at all. Yeah. Okay, his passive... okay, so they did... okay, maybe it's not that creative because people just increase the amount that you get. 2%, 3%, that's a good one. Yeah, just defensive resistance by 2% for every life lost, 3% for every life lost. 300% is a good one to cap it out on. Every time this unit surfaces taijutsu, attacker will be affected by ignition. Why ignition? I'm not really sure. I mean, he is fire style, but it's not like he fires fire at everyone. Which is fine though. Like, it's a little bonus thing like Roshi, but it's not that effective anyways. So, it's okay. Y and Y plus 1 is revival, reapplying the bond skill, which we'll get to. Any character suffering from ignition increases his damage output. Okay, now this makes more sense with this increasing damage and resistance and all that stuff. If you add it all together, it actually is pretty balanced, kind of balanced, maybe overpowered a little bit or underpowered. It's hard to say. Because there's so many Y and plus 2 combinations and stuff. But I think I can see what he's getting at. So he's having a revival just like Minato. Let's see. I just lost myself. Where is this? Okay, revival. His passive is revival. Any character that is suffering from ignition increases his damage output, which is good alone. If you're increasing his damage on top of that, then I guess it would make sense. So I guess in terms of his way of doing things, it is kind of balanced. It is hard to ignite the entire field, so you can only ignite some people, even if they attack you. But then there's healers, there's earth mains, there's people who don't hit Edo Hiruzen, so it's not that easy to increase damage. So if you add it all together, reducing defensive resistance, all that stuff, I guess this could work. Okay, let's see, passive. This is second passive. So we're just increasing attack and ninjutsu by 40%. he proposed to 50 and 60%. But, 60% might be a little bit too much, and also he increases the number of units, which is fine. But I think, if you go to like 6 best Naruto here, and then you have Hiruzen, and then you throw in Iruka or something, then basically you have a Kakuzu leveled. Basically, you're getting Kakuzu level buffs with scaling, healing, dodges, immune to status, chase dodge, like ninjas that are too OP are gonna get even more OP with this blitz. Now there's always gonna be counters, but like still, this is, I don't know, 60% seems a little overboard, and we're just gonna have Edo Hiruzen everyone in 3 versus 3 arena. Like Kisame is bad enough already. Throw in Edo Hiruzen and just we have enough of that. But that's my issue with increasing this. Normally in normal battles 1 versus 1, I think this is okay. But yeah, it's a fair idea. Y and Y plus 1 is increasing ninjutsu and resistance. That can't be removed to the entire field. He also has immunity to debuffs on plus 1. In plus 2, he has that and 25% and extra standard attack for... Okay, so he randomly gives an ally shinobi immunity to debuffs for 2 rounds. They also get an extra standard attack for the first 2 rounds. I think I saw that in one of the other entries. But that's fine. It's a mix with this. Okay, that's okay. Just field buff that can't be removed. It means the debuffs. Random immunity debuffs is okay. It's kind of pointless on a field battle. It's based on luck. Okay, Bond skill is probably his mystery because it's dealing a huge amount of damage to one character. So probably like 30% increased damage, just like Minato, Jonin Minato, to one character. And breaks the barrier. That's actually pretty good. Kind of like Roshi. Yeah, bringing Roshi's barrier breakers back is pretty nice. Should be fun just to see it. And then causes splash damage. Oh, so you're hitting one guy, causing splash damage, 80% of the entire lineup and selected targets. And you're putting Hashirama and Tobirama. Okay, so usually when you have a Bond skill and you're changing the mystery, you want to increase the range because you have more people involved. So you're going to hit more people instead of hitting less people. That's my one issue with this Bond skill, but I get it. Splash damage. Okay, so I guess technically you're doing you're still doing area splash damage. So the problem is the Bond skill only hits one team, according to what you're saying here. You probably want to expand that to like the entire field still. So splash damage to the entire field. I don't know. Splash damage to the entire field. Yeah, sure. Just that could be a fix, I guess. Yeah, that's my issue with it, but overall, still pretty good. Breaking the barrier, I love that little bit. And yeah, ninjas required. People tend to say the Edo Kages, and yeah. Okay, so that's the end of it. 16 pages, even though I only picked 3 entries. Oh man. Okay. Oh wow, 2 people left still. All right. If the people watching actually went through it and you have an opinion who wins, go ahead and comment. I'll look at it later. But I'm gonna say the first entry is probably the best because it has the best balance, has the least mistakes, and yeah, I mean just all abilities are individually more balanced than the other entries, and he needed a little bit more, but at least he didn't go way overboard. The second and third one did go overboard, especially the second one had like 600% defense resistance. That's, I don't think you thought that through, man. But yeah, other than that, it was fun to see some creativity. I mean, there was some creativity here. I think the second and third one had better creativity in terms of like new ideas, slightly more, but only slightly more. And the balance over here is just far outweigh. So I'm gonna put number 1 on FSB gaming entry. And FSB Gaming did reply to me saying that just to give his reward to the next person. So number 1 is giving his reward away. So number 2 is going to get number 1. Number 3 is going to get number 2. And number 3 is going to go to a random person that I'll pick out later. Okay, the second or third prize. I have to decide between these two. Let me look at this again. Okay. I'm going to look at creativity for this one. It suppressed all immunity debuffs. They had a somewhat equal amount of mistakes. Suppress some immunity debuffs. Let's see. 6 round interruption. think one guy had a really good bond skill. Let's look at the bond skill here. Yeah, I like the barrier one. I really like the barrier part about this. Let's look at the bond skill here, and that is all the way down. Oh, huge amount of damage. Yeah, I mean that was breaking the barrier too. Both of them broke the barrier. Is that it? One of them created a barrier. One breaks the barrier. Okay, no, a little pretty good. Hitting a random line, lowering attack and ninjutsu. 30 combo ninjutsu and attack. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. It's hard to say. I'm gonna look at the balance too to decide between which one should go for it. See, cause splash damage, standard attack, suppress super armor is good. I think you had a really unique way of putting these abilities together, like the scaling and the resistance. Revival was, yeah, very flexible here too. So hard to decide. Ooh. Yeah. So I mean, nobody in the comment section talked about 2 and 3. So I guess I'm gonna have to decide. They all agree that number 1 is the most balanced and well thought out, but I like the creativity on these guys. So this is so hard. Healing, this is a complicated setup with a great idea. Removing defensive resistance, scaling was unique, even though it wasn't complete. Suppressing increasing damage, that wasn't complete, but super armor was fine. Mystery, huge, undodgeable. I mean, you're creating it just like Six Fast Naruto. That's Archfield 3. But number 2 had Revive. Okay, Revivals was pretty nice. You didn't have the 30%, but immune to debuffs. He had the crazy 600%, but that wasn't that big of a deal, I guess. Chase, suppressed immunity, but immunity, yeah, the irremovable. Okay, this is very hard for me to decide, so I think. Okay, chat. Everyone else, does anyone else have an opinion? Because CPL is the only guy who's coming in and saying 2. I am undecided on this one. CPL is going to get the deciding vote if nobody else comes in. There's 3 people. Okay, one guy voted 3, so it's up to you, Nightfall. Let me go to this. Nightfall is all on you. Take your time. Yeah. Man, the one with the which one? Oh wait, the one that creates the barrier or the one that Hokage's the one that creates it. Okay. Yeah, I think that does make sense. Edward Hiruzen, like Hiruzen when he was alive was watching out for everybody. Like he was the guy who did everything, the guy in the backfield that did everything. So I mean Minato was kind of watching out with like speed and stuff, but Hiruzen knew everything. Okay, we're gonna go with 2 as number 1. Congratulations. Who's number 2 again? Shadowstone. You won first prize. FSB Gaming gave that to you, and thanks to that, Archfield Weavile, you win second prize, and then I'll just randomly pick a guy later for third prize. So if you entered in the contest, check your emails. I'll reply to your comments to get you a notification. But if you don't give me your email, I can't send it out to you. All right, I'm gonna send you guys a Razer gift card. Okay, I'll buy your Razer gift card, send it to you guys, and yeah, if you guys. I'll put a link to this document for you guys to look at if you want to see the contest. Next contest, I think I have a couple ideas. If you want to donate to this, to the effort, go ahead and talk to me or, go on PayPal, just throw in some stuff. That'll be for the next third contest. I think it might be something around fixing 6 Fast Naruto. That might be an idea. Or maybe you have a good contest idea. Go ahead and comment below. Hoping this video doesn't go on too long. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Congratulations to the people who win, and see you guys in the next video.